Hello, everyone. I am here to talk about my project, which I have titled Errorless Learning in Toilet Training, a Single Subject Study. Now, like my title says, I used an errorless learning procedure to teach the behaviors that I wanted my participants to learn. That means that I did not focus at all on correcting, on giving consequences to those behaviors that are normally considered errors. Instead of focusing on decreasing those behaviors, I focused on reinforcing the behaviors that I wanted to teach. And I reasoned that those behaviors would naturally replace the ones that I wanted to stop from happening. That was the reasoning, that was the thought process behind choosing an errorless learning procedure. Now, let me talk a little bit about my participant. I only had one participant for this study, and it was a 2-year-old neurotypical girl. Mom really wanted her to learn how to use the toilet, and she thought it would make her more independent and that it would help with family dynamics because now mom will have more time to do other things since she wouldn't have to change diapers or take her daughter to the bathroom and so on. So I thought the project would be socially significant, and I decided to proceed to continue with this study. Now, I based most of my intervention in a previous study done in 2020 by Flora et al., but it is not an exact uh, image of that original project. I changed it a little bit. The original project used an A-B design for this procedure, and I used an ABA research design. And that takes me to the method I used for this project. And like I said, I used an ABA design for the project, and my independent variable was this procedure, the errorless learning procedure, to teach two behaviors, which would be my dependent variables: successful toilet uses and self-initiation in toileting. Now, for data collection, what I used was I took frequency data based on my observations. And for this, I didn't exactly had any sort of inter-observer agreement in place, but mom was always there during the sessions, and she sometimes would tell me, yes, I did see her use the toilet, or yes, I did see her self-initiate, and I would confirm with her that what I was recording was indeed happening. Now, during the baseline phase of my project, I just documented natural behaviors with no prompts. Now, I did tell mom to act natural and just do what she would normally do on a regular day, uh, in regards to her toileting routine. So mom did take her a couple of times to the toilet, but I I did not implement my intervention during that baseline phase. Now, with that, I later, after a couple of weeks, started my intervention, and the intervention consisted of prompting the girl to request going to the bathroom, then taking her to the bathroom, and we would do some on-seat activities. I would give her some minor reinforcers, and when she actually used the toilet, I would give her a major reinforcer, which was an edible Oreo cookies. She loved those, and it was very reinforcing for her. So I would use that to reward her every time she actually used the toilet appropriately. Now, I did scheduled on and off seat time for her. I would do sessions that were 2 hours long, and she would go to the toilet every 10 minutes, sit for 10 minutes, and then be off the toilet for 10 minutes. So 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. And I did that for 2 hours. So what were the results after that intervention? Well, it turns out that during baseline, she had limited successful toilet uses and self-initiation, meaning that it was clear that she was having trouble with this behavior and she needed an intervention. Once I started my intervention, the behavior of successful toilet uses increased a lot. If we look at the graph over here, these are the successful toilet uses. They increase tremendously after the intervention. However, self-initiation in toileting did not change much after the intervention. So I believe that the intervention did not have control over this behavior. You can see over here that self-initiation had a couple of ups and downs, but it doesn't seem to be affected by my intervention. So let's discuss what conclusions we can arrive to from this study, what are the takeaways from this study. And I think the results demonstrate that the intervention is effective, at least to teach how to use the toilet, successful toilet uses. However, it is not effective for teaching self-initiation. It's not effective for creating that habit of the participants requesting to go to the bathroom. So I think this intervention could be refined. It could be improved so that it teaches all of those behaviors at once, and the kid learns how to use the toilet in a more complete, in a more holistic way. I also think that for this study to be more relevant, we will have to use more participants to generalize a little bit the results and the conclusions, and to make sure that some of the effects on this particular study are not due just to individual characteristics of my one participant. Now, besides that, I also think that this study is useful for a couple of things. It is useful to teach kids how to use the toilet. It is useful for increasing successful toilet uses. And it is also useful as a general rule to prove that errorless learning is an effective procedure for toilet training, and that maybe we don't have to focus so much in general in decreasing those errors, as we have to focus on teaching the behaviors that we want our participants to learn. Now, for references, I only included one. I did read other studies for this project. I got ideas from multiple places, but I only refer directly to one study, and that was Flora et al. That was done in 2020, published in 2020. And this study had also an errorless toilet training procedure, but it was slightly different than mine. I hope this is useful, that you liked the presentation, and I'll see you sometimes else. Goodbye.